Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Dave. What a pleasure to be part of that mission, inviting, building churches like God called us to do. And before we started, all the Kingdom Kids, go ahead with Miss Beth right now. You might be wondering if we have Kingdom Kids. The answer is yes, we have Kingdom Kids. All right, so today we are going to do something different to start it. We're going to talk about age restriction. No age restriction. So we're going to do something different today. So I want to call Jaylee, Annie, Matthew, Carter, and Rosita and Hannah. Come up here, guys. Because we're going to talk about, we're going to wrap up the youth group. As if you guys don't know, we have a youth group, and we've been active. We've been going out, and we just going crazy, like, yeah, thank you, Julie. And I know I don't have Rosita's name up there because she just impromptu today, and she's like, yeah, I'll go up here. So I'm like, cool. Okay, so I want to show you guys what we're doing, what did we do this year, and we're going to ask them some question. There's 3 questions, and not going to take a long time. And Hannah is just new, so she's going to have a different question. So, okay. We're going to go one by one. I'm going to ask one question, and they're going to answer it. And then I'll tell Hannah which question you got to answer, okay? So the first one is, Jaylee, what is your favorite moment of the youth group? This is for all of you guys. What's your favorite moment in youth group?
My favorite moment would probably be when we took our trip to Ozark Christian College. We definitely learned a lot, and we definitely grew together as a group, so that was a lot of fun.
My favorite memory, I think, was also Ozarks because we bonded and we just learned about other people's lifestyle and we learned about God a lot. So it was really fun, I think.
My favorite moment this year was most likely a lock-in. The lesson was pretty easy and down to earth, and we played lots of games.
My favorite memory of youth group was the tortilla slap. Because it was just fun. We just had a good time,
My favorite moment about youth group is just games. Every week, I just have a new best memory. It's just fun.
My favorite memory is probably, there's so many. I can't really just pick one.
Since you've only been here for how long? 2 months? Maybe less than that? Something like that.
Yeah.
So she enjoyed it. So, all right, let's start with your next one. Do you want to add more into that or no? Okay. Let's start with Hannah here. Hannah, because you're new, we want to know what is one thing that keep bringing you back to focus.
That everyone is just like super kind. No one is really like judgmental or anything. Everyone's welcoming.
Right? Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear, right? And then let's start from Matthew now. Matthew, how have you grown this year? Spiritually. Not your height, but spiritually.
I guess I've just learned to keep my eyes open to the problems in the community, and I've learned to just extend a hand to people if they need help.
Okay.
I've grown, I don't know.
Before this, I told them I don't want to like shallow answer like the Bible, church, so they have to think more deeper now. So, go ahead, Carter.
Well, the biggest thing for me is probably my confidence in faith. It's only grown since Tagu has gotten here, which I'm thankful for that. And I also just know that faith in God just leads nowhere but up.
I think I've grown just learning how blessed I am when we went to Kentucky, helping out and just seeing how blessed we are now.
I've definitely grown because after Tagu's very strong suggestion, Laura and I have become what we call accountability partners. And what that means is if we need a prayer or if we need a verse, then we have that specific person we can go to, and they're praying for us, and they have a verse ready for us. So that has helped me by having that to go to, and then also to be there for her.
Good, right. Now, next question. Oh, Chrissy don't want to answer it. She just remember something.
Okay, so I've grown, like, because, like, I now know, like, I have more faith in God. And, like, before I started going to church, like, I didn't believe in God. Like, I didn't think he was there. But now, like, since coming to church and going to youth group, like, I know he's there. Like, I know I can talk to him. So, yeah.
Good. Yeah. It's good. It's okay. So next question is, I'm trying to make it faster, sorry. If you guys have more questions and want to get to know more about it, just after church, grab one of these kids or those kids that here and just ask them. Last one for everybody except Hannah. Hannah, I have a different question for you because you're new. Where is it? I lost it. It is. So what is one way that you can keep growing as a Christian?
To turn to God with my problems, because I'm the kind of person that likes to try to solve them myself, and I just can't sometimes. So definitely turning to God to help me with those.
I think I can keep growing by serving more and just encouraging others with their faith.
For me, I think it's about being open-minded towards others and myself.
For me, kind of like what Annie said, serving more and stuff, and showing people the right way and speaking speaking the truth.
I think a step forwards for me would just be to be more confident and bold in my faith and speaking up when like a religious question is being asked.
So Hannah, because you're newer, so I'm going to ask you a simpler question. What is your favorite game we play at youth group since you got here? We play a lot of games, guys.
I don't know. I did like Mafia a lot.
Mafia, okay.
Like just like being in the dark and like running around.
Okay. So one of these kids like hurt themselves with the bench and stuff. So yeah, it was fun. But yeah, that's all I got. So everybody can give them a hand. Thank you, guys. So yeah, as I said earlier, this year we've been doing a lot with the youth group. We do a lot of local trip to Sky Zone, camp in Watsika, and then like you guys here, the Ozark Christian College last year, November, and then we went to Kentucky, and we had a lot of time. We had a lot of long trips, and it's a long trip, but I wouldn't trade that from anything, because that trip that we grow up, like you guys heard, we grow up not just as a youth group, but we become a family here. So you guys should come to the youth group and help sometime. This kid just like brother and sister. They were just like going after each other. But the one thing, I know that I can't do this without help at all. So I want to say thank you to a lot of people here. From the focus, I want to say thank you to Todd Schwarzentuber, Kate Schwarzentuber, Mandy Rodewald, Joe Gray, Creighton Beatty, Julie Mosier, Kristen Banks, and David McGinnis. They've been helping me like here and there if I need help. And Todd, who's been like there for me the whole time. So we went to a mission trip, and Julie go mission trip. It was great. And Mandy go to Ozark with me and stuff. And let me tell you what, every time she helped me going on the trip, we always get in trouble. I even tell Mandy that. Mandy, every time we go together, we get in trouble. She's like, oh yeah, you're right. So, and Kingdom Kids, I want to say thank you to Charlie and Diane Cook, Beth Hanks, which is covering me right now, Judy Gray and Mike Marchikaitis. They helped me. I say, hey, I need help in the classroom. Can you guys be there for once in a while? They're like, yeah. So I couldn't do this without them, and I'm glad. I appreciate each one of you guys because we get to do this together. And let me tell you something. These adults, and Tom too. Tom Engler helped when we need it. So, and sorry, a lot of people helping that I can't put everybody's name here. But I'm pretty sure they all do this not because they want to be cool, right? Or they want to be more hip to these kids, or want to hang out with the younger teens. But I'm sure they do this because they want to be an example. They want to be good, godly example in this world, because the world today is not an example. And I don't know if they notice it or not, they're doing what the Bible tell them to do. If you go to 1 Corinthians 11:1, it say, be imitators of me, just as I also am of Christ. Paul is the one who said this. We all know Paul, right? He's one of the big contributor in the Bible. He's the one who wrote most of the New Testament, and he has a story behind him. But he is the first Christian missionary in the world. He go around the country and planted churches like Ignite. And when Paul said this, he said it to church in Corinthians. So he said this because he want Corinthians people who's going to the church, they want them to imitate Paul. They want to have a good, godly, strong foundation Christian church. So they don't there's a lot of church they go away from Christian faith, but Paul wants this because Paul wants them to be a good Christian church. And I think we need to put this example in our life, guys. We need to put this, we can apply this in our life to the youth, to the youth that God trusted in our hands right now. We have light, and then when they see us do this, when they see us imitate Christ, they will follow our footsteps. And to do this, we need to train them the way it is, right? In Proverbs 22:6 said, "Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he's old, he will not depart from it." So I know this verse talking about parents. I know it's talking about family. I even find a picture that go perfectly with it on Facebook. I stumbled on this. This is before I write this. Train up a child in the way he should go, but be sure you go that way yourself. That is a lot of truth. As a parent, a good Christian, godly family, good Christian, godly parents are important. That we need to go that way with them, so we can what? We can do, show them example, show them the right path, show them how to love like Christ. It's important. But as we know, we cannot, as a parent, most of you guys are parents. You know it's a hard work to be a parent, right? You probably couldn't do this by yourself. There's even a saying said, it takes a whole village to raise a child. That's the whole truth. So I think we can apply this in our church too. Again, good, godly Christian family are great. It's important. But we as community have to help each other. Take me as example. My parents not Christian. My parents Buddhist. It's die-hard Buddhist, right? Of course, there's not a good Christ-like example. They're not, because they're not Christian. But during this time, when I just become Christian, God knows what I needed. God put me in a good community church, good community in the church, Timberlake Christian Church, when I was in college. And they showed me how to grow as a Christian, how to love like Christ, unconditionally love, and more importantly, to stay strong in my faith. So I don't go get waver and what the Bible said about it. So because of Timberlake Christian Church in Moberly, Missouri, I'm here. This is all the community, not just the parents. This whole community. And see it this way. If we become a good example of these kids, and when they grow up, they become a good Christian, strong in their faith, and they keep going to church, and it's just a success. And we all win, not just the parents. We all win because we train these kids and we show them example and we show them how to imitate us as we imitate Christ. And to do that, to train the children, to train any youth, guys, there's no age restriction on that. Because they watching us every day. They always look out for example. And again, there's no age restriction on that. Now let's go back to Paul, right? Like I say, Paul was the first missionary. And after a while, he got well known, and he was famous. And even though he killing a lot of Christians in the past, but people see him become a Christian, and he become one of the missionary. And he's going to mentor somebody. If you go to Acts 16, 1-3, Paul came also to Derbe and to Lystra, and a disciple was there named Timothy, the son of a Jewish woman who was a believer, but his father was Greek. And he was well spoken of by the brethren who were in Lystra and Iconium. Paul wanted this man to go with him, and he took him and circumcised him because of the Jews who were in those parts, for they all knew that his father was a Greek. So Paul see potential in Timothy. Like during this time, the first time Paul meet Timothy, Timothy was 16, and Paul is significantly older than him. So Paul see this good-looking, strapping young lad, and is really good in their faith, and everybody's talking about him in a good way. And Paul like, go with me. He's 16, and Paul like, let's go. He took him under his wing because he wants Timothy to imitate Paul as he imitate Christ. And during that time, they don't have youth group, right? During that time, they don't have youth minister. Youth minister is it's kind of new, 20 years or something like that? But I can tell you what, if Paul have youth minister that time, if Paul have youth ministry that time, Paul will be there almost every week if he didn't go to missionary trip. Paul will be there to be a good example to these young kids so they can imitate him as he imitate Christ. Because he knows how important it is. Because he knows that these kids influence every day. These kids need good influence because these kids, every single time in their life, always get influenced. And if you think they just got influenced by their family, you guys wrong. Because a lot of these kids go to school, right? How long do they spend at school, guys? 8 hours. And in that 8 hours, they have peers, they have family, they have a teacher, they have sport. They're always influenced by their kids. And if you see the world right now, there's not a good influence. They don't have enough good influence. And mostly their peers. You gotta admit it. These kids influenced by their peers, right? Do you guys ever heard the saying say, you are become who you surround yourself with? That's truth. That's truth. If I'm not surrounded by Timberlake Christian Church, I was easily persuaded. I was easily go here and there. But because of them, I was here. And even the Bible tells us this. Even the Bible warns us to remind these kids. Acts 15:33 said, do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good characters. I've been a youth minister. I've been working with youth for a long time, right? And I see a lot of youth with good character. Man, I see these kids have a lot of potential. I was like, this kid is the guy, right? This kid's the man. And this kid's like, gonna do great thing for God. And then they hang out with the wrong people. And then slowly you see it. Slowly they become like them. They're starting like, oh, maybe doing a little of this, it's okay. My friends do this, it's fine. And slowly they're losing their faith. And even though their parents trying their hardest, and I try to remind them and still all that stuff, but the influence in their life, it's a lot. And to be that good influence, to be that, to remind them every day to be wise in their decision to choose friends, to have a good discernment to choose their friends. There's no age restriction to that. Anybody can do it. And another influence they have in their life, it's somebody that a little bit older than them, like college student, somebody just graduated from high school. Or like somebody a little bit older than them. They see them as a cool kids, right? Because they're not far removed from them, and they think that they know what I'm going through right now because they just there. And when I was in college, this has happened to me when I was in college. I was helping, and a lot of middle school, a lot of high schooler come to me because I'm not too much older than them. They can relate to me. They're more open up to me than they're to the youth minister. So, young adult, if you guys think like, oh, I don't know, I don't have any experience, you do. You do have experience. Again, there's no age restriction for that. And another thing is, if you are older and you think that you can't help with the youth because you can't keep up with them, that's something that's not true. I'm telling you this. I'm going to tell you a secret. This youth, as much as active as they are, as much as they want to do crazy stuff, like we have a game called Kill Ball. Sounds terrible, but it's fun to play. You just have to play. But if we play that, well, we do a lot of active stuff. We learn about God, deep stuff about God. But I'm telling you, as much as they're active, if you guys want to help, they don't expect you guys to keep up because they know. Like when I was the youth, there's one of the best helper, youth volunteer in my life until this day. One of them, when I was in high school, she was 51 years old. She was a lot older than me. And when we play dodgeball in the past, because right now, if you play dodgeball, they're gonna go home and they're gonna be crying about it, and But in the past, we just play dodgeball, hit somebody in the face, when you laugh at them, and all that stuff. But we play dodgeball, we play all that stuff, and I see this lady, 51 years old. You just sit on the side and talk to the girls that don't want to play. And this lady named Lori Garrett, there's a picture up there. She's a 51 years old. Click it again. I'm trying to be fancy there. Lori Garrett, she was one of the, I love her. She take a mother figure of the youth to herself. So everybody call her Mommy Lori, and she's always there for us. She always there for me. When I was in college, we have to pay for laundry, right? Like $5 every week. And she let me to go to her house to do laundry so I can do homework with her in their house. And then if I don't have homework, we just watch Andy Griffith's show and just hang out. And we hang out, and then her husband was there too. And then when we watch something, or like 2 seconds when we played this show, we heard, when we look up, he was like sleeping on this recliner with a little light on top of him. So we always give him a hard time. It's fun. It's that memory that we know that stick with us. And I'm going to share you 2 more memories with her because, like I said, she's older. She thinks she can't keep up. There's 2 memories that really stick with me. One of them is at camp. I was in college this time. Like me, I was 20, so she probably about 52, 53, right? And if you guys ever go to Christian camp, we have games, right? We have games. We have this game. We have to run station to station to station to station. We have to be quick to win, right? And then if we go to the last station, that team won. So I was in the same group with her, and we have like 6, 7, 8 kids with us. And when we played that game, none of us expect her to run with us. We are ready to walk with her. We don't care if we lose, but we're gonna have fun no matter what. And the next thing I know, we got adrenaline rush up. We go running and stuff. I was in the front, and I look back. Come on, guys, come on! Everybody run, including Lori Garrett. It was like, what? I thought you're not gonna run. She's like, well, it's fine. She kept running. I was like, man, that's crazy. She's there. She showed us that she's willing to do anything to be a good example for us. And after this, I talked to her. I was like, Lori, that was impressive. I told her, Lori, that was impressive. You do unexpected thing all the time when you with the kids. So I'm gonna call you the unexpected Lori Garrett. So it's stuck. So I keep calling her that. And the second one is, this is my junior year in college. So I was internship there with Alan, and I went to mission trip with them in the Eminence, Missouri. So when we don't do mission work, we do stuff, like fun stuff. And this is team building stuff. This is a zip line. So you guys know what a zip line is, right? But they make it in such a way that we need to do, as a team, we need to bring each one of us one by one to top. So this is like a tree, and there's a platform up there, really high on there. And then they have this little swing on the ground so somebody can stand there, balance themselves, and they have these 2 ropes on the side. So we split our team, and we pull that rope and get one by one, go up there, right? Does that make sense to you guys? I hope that makes sense. It's hard to explain. And again, none of us expect her to go up there at all. None of us expect her to step on that swing, because I was scared a little bit, and I was like 21 years old, right? And this kid is because it's unstable, but she stepped up. We got her up to the platform. It's like the platform right here, and we got her up there. The only reason she can't make it is she couldn't pull herself up to the platform, because the instructions say, we're not gonna help you guys at all. So you gotta do yourself up there. She couldn't. She's so apologetic. She was like, I'm sorry, I can't. You guys try, work your harder and your hardest, and you got me up there, but I couldn't pull myself. None of us are like, man, Lori, I'm disappointed in you. You should have pulled yourself. You should try harder. You're embarrassing us. Nobody said that. We just it's okay, Lori. If anything, we were impressed. Because this 50, what, now it's 54, 55. She got up there. And there's no way, I can guarantee you, nobody in that group would say like, oh, I can't do it, I'm too scared. We're going to say like, Lori made it up there. Why can't you? See, there's no age restriction to be this example. In fact, these kids would love you guys to learn from you, to learn wisdom from you guys, like Lori Garrett. This is until today. She just stopped helping last summer because she already doing it so long. She started from 40. She just stopped last summer at camp. She was 64. So she's been like 20 years doing this. And everybody call her Mommy Lori. And we love her. Like everybody from the college student, and nobody can say anything bad about Lori. If somebody did, we'd destroy them. I'm pretty sure that. They can't. They just can't. It's Mommy Lori. So guys, when you guys think that you can't keep up with these kids, they don't expect you guys to keep up. So, they just need somebody to be there to help them. And during the zip line thing, I can guarantee you, if she can pull herself up there, she's going to go down that zip line. And then I'm not talking about like a small zip line. It's like far. When I did that zip line, the one thing I hate about it, climb uphill. Hated it because we have to walk far away and then go up. I'm like, I want to do it again, but I don't at the same time. But she would do it. So there's no age restriction to be like Lori Garrett, to be Paul to Timothy. They do this because they know we need example. They do this that we know the world are so messed up. Kids need a mentor, a good Christian, godly mentor. And last thing I want to tell you guys that if you going to help with our youth because God trusted us with these kids, right? And one thing that I want to tell you guys that we can learn from each other. That I'm without a doubt that the kids can learn from us because we're older and we can because we're older we have more experience. We can tell them our wisdom. But on the flip side of that, we can learn from that. I've been here for like a year and a half now, and I can tell you guys one thing I can learn from each one of them, right? But for the sake of time, I wouldn't do that. I'm just going to share you one thing that I learned from one of the youth. If you want more example, you can come to me and ask. And as you know, I have this past few weeks, it was crazy for me, right? Leon was born, and then I have citizenship tests, and it's a full 2 weeks. My plate was full. It's like, what in the world's going on? And then during that time, they have a retreat at Perry State Christian Camp, and the leader asked me if I can speak there, so I can teach one of the lesson there, and I almost say no to her because a lot of stuff going on, right? So she would be like, she even said like, if you can't, that's fine. I know a lot of stuff going on. I almost say no, but one thing popped in my head. I don't know what it is. You call it conviction of Holy Spirit or God remind me or whatever. There's one thing at mission trip that I talked to Jaylee about why is she helping. Because I say, Jaylee, you have what? Cheerleading, show choir, magic, and work, and then you helping your mom and all that stuff. You're busy. Why are you still helping church? Because if you see them, like Jilly and Carter is almost here all the time. When we have event, they're always here. So I asked her, why do you do this? Her answer, like, hit me in the face, literally. It's coming from her 17 years old girls. No, 16, close enough. 16 years old girls. She said, Tagu, as busy as I am, if I can help people and at the same time glorify God, I will do whatever in my power to do it. I was like, what? I was like, that. I almost say no, but this just popped in my head, so I say yes. So I'll teach that week, that Saturday after my citizenship test. It was like, I learned from her, and I learned from, again, I can't tell you stuff I learned from these kids, but for the sake of time, I can't do that. So there's no age restriction to learn from each other, right? Because as old as we are, as wisdom, as wise as we are in age, we can learn something new from the kids. So yeah, guys, so I want to invite you guys to try helping with the youth group, at least give it a month, because one or twice is not really a thing. Because you know what, I'm telling you why, because our youth group is growing slowly in number. There's kids that not come here in this church. They come to our youth group because they like it. Hannah is one of them. Hannah is the new kids that come to church and youth group, but there's more kids that come. They didn't come here on Sunday morning, but they still come to youth group. And I'm sure we keep going because, like Hannah said, our youth group is very welcoming. We're crazy. I was afraid Hannah wouldn't come back because we were crazy, but she kept coming back. So, and then we're growing spiritually. There's 1 week we go to Christian camp. There's 1 week I look around. Our youth group is the most mature Christian there. Even if I compare to one of the staff, our youth group is like spiritually mature than one of the staff. Then that's why they need more good Christian, more Paul in their life, so they can imitate more people to be like God. And if you still think that you can't keep up with this kid and you still want to help, there's more to help. So you can, if you want to help in one way or another, let me know. We figure something out. It's young adult, older people. I need you guys' help so these kids can grow strong in their faith. Yeah, there's no age restriction to be a godly example, so the youth can imitate us as we imitate Christ. So guys, let's pray. And again, I want to invite you guys to give a try to help us with the youth. If you want to know more experience about helping, ask Todd, because he's been there the whole time. Todd would say all good stuff, hopefully. Right, Todd? Maybe. We'll see. Depends, I guess. So, all right, let's pray. God, thank you for everybody here. Thank you that you give us this community to be a good example to the youth, to the young age, to these kids, God. And thank you for all the experience that we have as a youth group, all the trip, all the support, and thank you for helping us grow as a family. And I want to pray so you can tug somebody hard to help more with the youth group, and so they can learn more about you, and they can imitate more people that have a strong faith in you, God. And in the name of Jesus, pray. Amen.